Cruiser, the only problem with what you're saying is that I get your sentiment. You're basically using the actual reasons that we know for people to get divorced, and you're like, there's no reason for that. But when you start tying in abuse and then saying that, oh well, he might go upside her head because she's not being the right kind of wife, that's where you're rubbing the women wrong at. You know what I mean?
But I also stated she could have hit him. Did I not?
Well, no, that would be I don't think any of the women would disagree with that. It's when you start tying all the other stuff in there where they're like, hold on, wait a minute.
But I never even tried to do that. I just said there was details. I never tried to tie it in. They tried to walk me into giving details. And I never been in a relationship where, I never been in a relationship where I hit a woman. So I would have to try to assume that, okay, what are the reasons why a man would hit a woman? And then it would come off as if I'm trying to justify him hitting her, which I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out what his reason. The only thing I can think of is if she's hitting him, and like I stated before, and he read back and said, I'm tired of you hitting me, and hit her back. But then they try to take me back. They try to villainize what I'm saying by trying to twist my words and adding words that I didn't even say.
Yeah, but then
nobody added anything. We're listening to you.
Words that kind of make it sound. That's why I get what you're trying to argue. But the words that you're using, if you go back and rewatch it, the things that you're actually saying, it's kind of bad, bro.
Things that I was saying was things that they had stated. I was just repeating what they said and just playing devil's advocate and for entertainment, just answering the question based off of the statements that they were saying. But I never even said in those things. Even Travis say that. I didn't say a lot of the shit they were saying. I didn't even say that. The words didn't even come out of my mouth.
I can say this. I'll say this. There was definitely a lot of words that was thrown into his mouth that he didn't say. But I can say where you lost the. Well, hold on, I'm not done. I can say where you lost the women. When you said that's why I could see how, and then you did the joint right here, right there. That was that. That was like it was like okay. Because so I'm not saying I'm not saying that you meant it like that, but I could easily see how women, particularly any woman who may have experienced any type of, situation like that. I'm you gotta be careful with the words you use on here.
DV.
But any woman who's been through that type of, that.
And that's the reason why I try to give you context. By saying if a woman hitting a man, and he's tired of her hitting him, and he's gonna use every other means of trying to resolve the issue, and that's not working, and he loses it. Me personally, I never hit my wife, and I never hit a woman.
I see what you did. It was genius. You was bringing light that men experience domestic violence, and a lot of times we don't talk about the domestic violence that men experience. So in order for us to engage in this conversation, you said, why is he getting hit? So you could talk about how men get abused in domestic violence.
Details. That's why I said, what are the
details? Who you think is falling for that, Marcus? No, that was cute though.
Thank you, Marcus. That's why I said the details are important, because you'd be surprised at how a lot of these DV cases ends up with a man locked up for responding to being hit after being hit countless times. I'm not saying that there's not cases where men are just constantly abusing women, but I'm saying that the
men
details
don't even report
matter.
it.
Yeah, it's about who called the cops first. And they can't even accept that. Even if you clear it up, that's a damn shame.
Because I'm still stuck on when she raised her voice.
Y'all stuck because y'all in y'all feelings, man.
No, she raised her voice and then you immediately said,
I think the silence is a means of conviction. You probably was out of line.
So why are you talking over me? You wanted an answer, right? The reason we're not going to hear your clarification, because as soon as she even raised her voice through a damn digital screen, the first thing out of your mouth was, I could see why a man would cock back and slap a woman. That's what you said.
Okay, so why is she raising her voice?
It doesn't matter. Why are you talking about hitting her?
Previously, before you said, well, there's got to be a reason on why he hit her. You did not initially
out of
say
your femininity, and you're being very masculine. You raising your voice.
So she should get slapped.
You didn't initially say that.
I said I can understand why.
It's a reason why he hit her. That's when I said, what?
Do that. He probably wouldn't do it, but he'd be agitated to the level would be like, damn, bitch, won't you just shut not saying you the B word, but I'm just saying, won't you just shut the hell up?
Man, I think
why some men respond that way.
I think Bruiser trolling.
That's how people end up in ERs.
I think you're trolling on this one, man. I've never put my hands on a woman. I can never see myself putting my hands on a woman.
I don't think he's trolling. A lot of men think like him. They're just not stupid enough to say it out loud.
I don't think Bruiser means exactly what y'all trying to paint him out to mean. I think he's just mixing up. Y'all missing what he's trying to say. He's basically saying he more willing to find out what's going on behind the curtain, because oftentimes what happens is, and I can agree with this, is that when people say, oh, we got a divorce, oh, well, he was hitting me. And that's the only thing that happened, but nobody ever discusses the reasons that may have occurred. Like she was hitting him too, or she was abusive to him, or she did, you know what I mean, XYZ that led to, you know what I mean, them putting hands on each other or what have you. So he's basically saying that it's not always as black and white as far as the reasons why people say that they divorced.
And listen, I'm not
condoning. I really think Darwin speaks very well, and I think it's so funny that Sweeney, Marcus, and Trev feel that they had to come in and clarify what he was trying to say. But at the same time, I don't know Darwin personally. I don't know him personally, but I
be trolling and saying
shock value stuff. Ill will. Yeah, I don't.
He be trolling
sometimes. Think that he is an evil man. I don't think that as well. That's why I bowed out the conversation.
Yeah, no, Casey, the reason I even brought that up is because, I mean, I saw just reading the room and you know, comments and everything else. I'm like, okay, people are going to receive that a certain way, right? When I heard it, I'm like, damn, I don't think he really means it like that. You know what I mean? Because the way he articulates himself is how he does, and that's fine. However, I understood how people will receive it, especially women, and even more if a woman who may have experienced that. And I didn't want the message to be conveyed in that manner when I don't feel like he really
meant it that way.
It was a direct representation of his thought process.
And that goes to show you how men work together.
I appreciate that.
We understand each other on a level to where we can come in and be like, okay, this is what he meant. He may not have been able to articulate it that way, but this is what we're getting, and we're trying to convey to you that this is the context behind it. It really don't mean these harmful things to you. But I will add this. I had a consultation with a guy, and he allowed me to use his story before. He had a case of abuse where his wife walked out on him because he had beat her up. You know, it was just only one time, but you know, for a while I didn't ask him why he beat her up. But then I thought, okay, this is important. This is the reason why you divorced, because we had spoke for an hour after he stated that, and I couldn't put my finger on why he hit the woman. And then I found out. Well, I actually asked him, okay, why did you beat her down like so badly? And he said, well, I found out my 10-year-old daughter was not mine. Now, I'm not saying that he was justified for hitting her, but I can understand the pain he felt and how he could, if you're not emotionally intelligent enough to control yourself, at that moment of hearing that and finding that information, you could lose it. Not saying it's justified, but I'm saying
it isn't just he put his hands on her.
It was the details that mattered, because I don't see it as the women are trying to paint it on this panel tonight that, oh, he's just abusing me. Hey, baby. No, I don't see it like that. I see, okay, there's a series of events that led up to you getting your jaw smashed in.
It's gonna look graphic, man. I'm not sure YouTube about this. Let's just make sure we kind of
see where it's going. See where it's going. I'll just see where it's going.
You could just let me just clean that up right there and just say the purpose of the divorce wasn't just abuse. It was infidelity, baby made on them, and all of that was encompassed in the divorce. You had to try to keep going.
Because I know you was going to say what you said and have my back. I knew you was going to come in and have my back.
No, I shouldn't have to do that.
All right, look. So,
that's why
Dick,
that's why all the women recognized immediately what you all were doing. You always try to come in and cover up a man's stupid mistake instead of holding him accountable like I thought men do. But what did y'all do? Make excuses for him for his bullshit.
Have you ever watched your homegirl?
That's not okay.
Have your homegirl ever put hands on a dude after she found out he cheated?
I'm not answering no dumbass question about nobody putting hands on nobody.
He just said it's not justifiable that he hit that woman because he found out that the baby wasn't his. But he also just said you're trying to justify why you cheated on him. So you can't. You just like a walking contradiction today because it doesn't make sense. If you can't justify it in one section, then you can't justify it in another. There's no excuse. Nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. Nobody should be doing any of that. Or you just shouldn't together.
I asked him initially how his feelings on domestic violence before I even spoke, and infidelity, and I confirmed that he said he was against both of those things. The majority of the night, he even calling men losers and weak for moments of infidelity. That's what I'm saying. It came off the wrong way because I didn't know exactly what he was trying to get at. I kind of was reaching, but I know that he don't agree with domestic violence.
Definitely not 100% against it. And I was in the military. I was a sergeant in the military, and we trained soldiers on that every week. There was zero tolerance for it. Zero tolerance. It don't even matter if she hit you. When she hit you, run away. That's what we train our soldiers. Walk away, leave the house, get out of there fast. Zero tolerance.
Yeah, he never said it was right. Not once did he say it was right.
Here you go.
Yeah, again. Venus, it's not about covering for Darwin, right? It's more like I don't want women on the panel or any women watching to feel that uncomfortable, to think that he would or any of us would actually support DV on any capacity. Because I'm not super familiar with Darwin, but he's never given me anything that would make me feel like he actually would support that. And I wouldn't allow it anyway. If I felt like that's what he was actually doing, I would stop that immediately. That's why I wanted the clarity, and I asked for clarity because I didn't think that's what that was. If he was to stand on that, then yeah, we probably would just been going back and forth about that. But my whole purpose was that I don't want women to ever feel like they can come to any place and then made to feel uncomfortable, right? I don't support it. I don't think it's fair, and it's a serious matter. Right. And I don't think that any woman should have to deal with that. I know people personally who have dealt with that, and I've seen what it does to women. And it's terrible. And it's something that should not be tolerated. And I'll say this. If the first time it happens, I think a woman should get the hell out of there. And that's where our opinions differ. I think that she should get the hell out of there because it's not a good situation to be in. And I've seen what it does to women. And I don't think that any woman should want to do that. We all have wives, sisters, mothers, daughters, and we don't want to see any of our women go through that.
That's a fact.
Hey, Venus, check the back chat real quick, please.
And I'm aware that there's a lot of men out there that don't know how to control themselves, don't know how to control their anger. And, if you listen to sometimes when we talk on King Talk, we have some of the guys on here that I think all of the guys on here for the most part come on King Talk, and we talk about ways that men can control their anger, and be more emotionally intelligent in situations whenever they find themselves in a quarrel with a woman in the household. It's one of the places that men never want to find themselves in. And we always talk about ways that they can mitigate it, use various ways to decrease any chances of it getting to that line. And we also talk to women on how they can carry themselves in a way where they can be more feminine and less masculine, where they can decrease the chances of a man losing himself. Because we got to understand it's an influence going both ways. It's an argument. Both of y'all are in disagreement. And it's usually when a woman is being more combative. I've never seen it. And all of the DV cases I've studied, I've never seen it where the woman is being hit for being in her femininity and being in a cooperative manner and being in a feminine state. It's always when she get out of her femininity and she's starting to quarrel.
You should stop talking. You should really stop talking.
No, I'm just saying.
You should just stop talking about this for real.
No, I'm just saying we got to be able to have this conversation without being triggering. You got to understand that we all human beings.
But the longer you talk, you start doing the same thing again. So now it's any woman who got hands put on her is because she wasn't being feminine. Like, I don't know if you're hearing yourself, but you should probably stop.
No, I'm saying there's many things that can contribute to the quarrel, period. Not him hitting you. I'm just talking about y'all getting into an argument, period. I'm not even talking about him laying hands on you. I'm talking about just getting in an argument and a disagreement. I'm not even talking about being hit. I'm talking about there's a way you can behave in a relationship, and there's a way you can behave in a relationship where you cause an argument to be more a higher chance of happening based on being out of your femininity. That's all I'm saying.